fell asleep amid the flowers for a couple of hours on a beautiful day. Daydream.
The Electric State, it's set in a world where robots were made to help humans. Kind of like The Wild Robot, kind of like iRobot. We've seen this story before. And of course, the robots turn sentient and kind of turn against the humans that built them.
Who would have known?
A war erupts. Right, I know. It's like they've never seen a movie before in their entire life. But a war erupts between the humans and the robots, and the humans are getting slaughtered until Stanley Tucci's character, aka Ethan Skate, which might be the worst name of all time, develops this Neurocaster technology, which is basically just glorified VR. A human puts on this ginormous, ugly-looking helmet, and they get into a body of a robot that's armed with an AK-47 and just mows down other robots. But then fast forward a little bit, and Millie Bobby Brown is playing Michelle, and her parents and brother died in a car crash. And one day, the creepiest looking robot of all time, something straight out of like Five Nights at Freddy's, breaks into her house and is like, "Hey, I'm your brother." And I will say she gives a normal reaction, like, "What the fuck, get out of my house." But it turns out it actually is kind of linked to her brother's mind. And the whole story is Millie Bobby Brown trying to find her brother in the middle of New Mexico, as people do. And basically she has to fight against Ethan Skate and this neurotechnology to try to save her brother, but it ends up being her brother is the one that links all these neurotechnology people to the robots itself. So she has to kill her brother to kill the technology.
And she does, right?
I don't know. I never finished the movie. No, she does. She does, yeah.
Well, we do see...
Well, at the end, they might hint to an Electric State too. I don't know.
Yeah. If Netflix wants to cough up another $230 million, then I guess I'll watch it.
320 million, by the way. But
yeah. So we talked about this offline, but oh my God. If there was ever going to be a robot deactivation task force, who would you put as the leader?
I got two answers, honestly.
First vote for me is Gus Fring, Gustavo. We had talked about him literally like 2 weeks ago, and I started laughing when I saw him show up on this little monitor being evil once more. I just don't think this guy knows how to be a protagonist, and I don't even remember what happened with him and Stanley Tucci. Was he more evil, or...
Yeah, Stanley Tucci was a psychopath. Stanley Tucci was, like, balls to the walls nuts.
So you're telling me Gus Fring had morals towards the end?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn. I gotta give this a rewatch then. I just thought he was going down the same psychopath path that he always does. And
he turns a new leaf in this one.
Okay. So the thing I titled my notes with was this stupid Millie Bobby Brown movie about robots. That was the first note I had under there, was the robot, I don't know why I can't say that. Deactivation Task Force. And also, we got to talk about the first scene of this movie, because I actually think they messed up the direction of when the two scenes should have happened. We have like the overlay of how the robots ended up taking over the world after this scene where Millie Bobby Brown's brother is taking a test at, I'm assuming Yale or like Harvard, because he's the smartest dude ever. This was one of like the dumbest scenes ever written. We have her watching him with her parents take this test at a college, which is just not allowed. I've never seen that in the history of my life. And we see her like laughing at a joke that he makes to the teacher, which again, she's not even in the room. And she's just like chuckling, looking into the room as he's like taking a test. Like I've never heard of this shit. And then there's all these there's all these like back and forth lines that he gets into a little skiff with a soldier as he's walking away. And there's so many lines in here that are just like, you had to be there. And none of us were there because this is a brand new movie. And then they kind of explain it afterwards. I actually think like the scene after where they show the history of it was supposed to come before that scene. But I don't know.
I think there was so much more wrong with this movie that I didn't even clock that.
Well, I also noticed, I don't know if you saw this too, when Millie Bobby Brown is first at home, she feeds her cat. Like, we got to talk about Millie Bobby Brown first off. I guess
let's dive into this.
We'll dive into this. So we'll do our scores first, right? Entertainment, I went 4-1.
Wow. Okay, I went 2-7.
Characters, I went 4-8.
Characters, I went 3-8.
Okay. Asterisk, Chris Pratt bumps that up, obviously.
Yeah.
He's in this movie, like I mentioned. Cinematography, I went 5-2.
Cinematography, I went 4-9.
Okay, we're same ballpark there. And then writing, I went 4-9.
Ooh, writing, I went 3-2.
Writing, I went 0. So, all right, here's the thing with Millie Bobby Brown. Is she a bad actor? Maybe.
Yes.
Now,
No.
now, is she very successful, talented? Do I look uber envious saying this? Sure. Whatever. Everyone would probably want to be Millie Bobby Brown. She's got a great life. She's in Stranger Things. But I'm a very big hater on Stranger Things. And just to get into the technicalities of it, I think the reason why I don't like her that much is because her characters are just not believable to me. She's always playing like the same victimized protagonist, and she's so online. I see her all the time, like talking about how rich she is, and I don't know. She's just all over the news all the time, and I struggle watching her in this role. She's like all.
I've actually seen opposite. I've seen that she grew up poor and then like came into money because of that.
I don't mean. I don't know about that. Like, you could be completely spot on there. I just mean, here's a good comparison, right? The other night I was watching Ted. Great movie. Like, underrated movie, like, whatever. Mark Wahlberg is, what? The most top 3-5 most famous actors alive right now? Whatever. He's very recognizable.
Yes.
He convinces me in that movie that he is just a fucking bum. And he's Mark Wahlberg. You know what I mean? When I watch Millie Bobby Brown in full glam, like walking around this dystopia, it just doesn't make it believable at all. And it's not I guess I don't have any hate towards her. I just don't think her character is believable. And I've just seen it so many times at this point. 11 has the most depth to me of any character she's played. And that's like season 1 11. Yeah, it's like season 1 11 when she can't talk. And then by season 4 it's just like she's some normal teenager, basically. It's... I don't know. I could go on a whole other tangent about Stranger Things by itself, but I'm kind of... I think Millie Bobby Brown needs to maybe play a villain, or... I'm not really sure. She just doesn't really move the needle for me. And obviously she moves it for a ton of people, so maybe I'm off here, but I don't know. Chime in.
I'm kind of on the same wavelength. I feel like she peaked a little too early. Her role as 11 and how popular Stranger Things was kind of burst all of them into the spotlight, but Millie Bobby Brown especially, she's kind of like the face of Netflix, I feel like. And I think that stardom kind of ruins all the roles after that. Like, I only see her as Millie Bobby Brown. And sometimes you kind of see this with older actors, like really good ones, though, like Samuel L. Jackson or Denzel. Like, early on in their career, killing their roles. But towards, like, later in their careers, I feel that when you see them in a movie, you're like, that's Samuel L. Jackson. They're not embodying the character they're playing, really. And I feel like that's Millie Bobby Brown early on, though. So now every role I see her in, it's just Millie Bobby Brown. But I don't know, that might just be her acting, though.
I think... I'm not a good actor at all, but her acting consists of just her gleaming at her co-star or looking really seriously at her co-star and talking slowly about how things are serious now, or she's like gleaming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or she's like crying, I guess.
The Sydney Sweeney, the triple threat.
I don't know, dude. Granted, she probably hasn't picked the best projects. I'm sure she got a lot of money to do this movie, and I'm not blaming her for doing that. It's just
$320 million budget. I
Right,
guarantee she got a
and-
bag.
right, but like, I feel like you could have casted any other girl in that role, saved a ton of money, and probably made it a little better in terms of hiring a better writer's room and saving some money on the CGI, because it probably went a lot towards the CGI. And my entertainment score was what? It was fucking low. If you have that much CGI, it should be way better. 4.1, you went 2.7. Like, this thing sucked. And it had so much budget. Like, I don't understand how this
Also,
even happens.
The Russo brothers, they're not bad directors.
No.
Infinity War, Endgame, Civil War, Winter Soldier, like The Gray Man. They do a
Right.
bunch of stuff that I enjoy. They just, for me, they missed the mark on this movie.
I think we're probably just getting into that whole argument about the model of movies now, and it's more so about viewership on streaming services, and obviously these names are going to make things pop and get people to watch it, and for however long they need to make money off of it. And I don't know. I'm just going to go on a tangent about Millie Bobby Brown. Or I already did that, but she just, for whatever reason, I feel like she kind of drags the movie in a different way. Like, you see Chris Pratt fighting a bunch of robots. He says some funny shit because he's Chris Pratt. And then Millie Bobby Brown has like one speck of dirt on her like perfect face, perfect hair and everything. And she's like, we have to find my brother or whatever. That's the whole movie. It's so stupid.
We needed Joey King in this movie.
Honestly, dude, I wrote that down. I was like, which movie is better, Uglies or this? And I would probably rewatch Uglies.
I think I would
over this.
rewatch Uglies.
Just because
Well,
it's,
to
like,
be fair, I want to know what
beyond
happens in
stupid.
Uglies too. I never want to see Electric State ever again.
No, never. And a $320 million, again, $320 million budget
Yeah.
should give you something there. Like, Mickey 17 had, I think, $100 million budget. And that movie, I mean, it's just new. That's why I'm bringing it up. But that movie alone is light years better than this. And they have big actors, too.
I saw, I think on Letterboxd, there was a review where it was like, you could make 53 Anoras with the budget of this movie.
Yeah. I actually, did you see the thing about how Honora spent like 4 times its budget marketing for the Oscars?
Yeah.
That was
That's
cool.
insane.
Shout out Sean Baker. But anyway,
Shout out all the Seans.
shout out Sean's. He spells it your way too, I believe.
The
SCAN.
right way.
Yeah, it is the right way. So let's do well, we kind of talked about the characters.
Well, was there
Like-
anything you liked about the movie?
No. Like, honestly, the part where Jason Alexander was like getting interrupted watching, Brazzers was fucking hilarious. But that was about it. Like, I didn't really get many kicks from it. Like, Chris Pratt has the occasional one-liner. I just think this budget was completely wasted in terms of the writing. Like, there is no structure to this plot at all.
Yeah, the story sucked. I'd say the only redeeming qualities were a little bit of banter between Chris Pratt and Anthony Mackie, who played Herm, the robot.
Okay.
Herman. And I was fucking with Mr. Peanut and the UPS lady.
Was that Brian Cox playing the Peanut Man?
I believe so.
Because I heard Brian Cox, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
They probably spent so much on these actors. That has
Oh.
to be what it is.
Yeah, insane. They had Woody Harrelson was Mr.
Oh,
Peanut.
oh no, Brian Cox was a different one then. I swear to God I heard his name. Or his voice.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Where? Oh, he played Pop Fly. Oh, he was funny too. The baseball machine.
Yeah, hold on. My shit is it, can you see me?
Yeah, you were glitching there for a second.
Okay, okay. I think I saw that before. I don't know. Picture in picture close to maintain recording quality. I just think I have tabs open. I'm just gonna close my shit. We're fine now. I've got 10%
Yeah,
battery.
But we'll wrap up soon.
Yeah. So
But yeah,
cinematography.
Pop Fly oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. Pop Fly the baseball robot, right?
Pop Fly the baseball robot was absolutely hilarious. I found myself laughing at his stuff the most. Dude, they had a Kihei Kwan or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Yep. Short round.
Dude, literally everything. They had everyone in this film, and it still sucked.
And you know what it is? I just don't really give a shit if Millie Bobby Brown saves her brother. I don't, that's what it comes down to.
Honestly, you're 100% right.
There's no attachment.
At the end, when she has to make that big decision, kill her brother to save the world or not, I didn't care. Pull the plug. I don't give a shit.
It was like Ellie and Joel and this fucking random ass robot and Millie Bobby Brown. Which one's better? That again though, that's just Last of Us has phenomenal writing, and you care about the fucking characters. Honestly though, if Millie Bobby Brown played Ellie, I'd probably fucking hate The Last of Us. So
That is true.
We're just shitting on her again. Very successful. She's great as 11.
Way better actors than we could ever dream of.
Yeah, for sure. But I didn't fuck with the movie, and I really think it kind of ties down to her. Also, the actor who plays her brother was really annoying. I thought he was such a know-it-all in the first scene. He was like, I aced that test or whatever. I can't believe Einstein took this test and had to sit through it or whatever. Remember he said some
I would have
snarky
strangled
line?
him right there.
Yeah, and then he was bitching at some soldier about the war, and he's like, he just came off so entitled. Fuck that kid. Whatever. That's the recap of this movie. That's the recap of this movie. So cinematography, right? Massive budget, just a ton of CGI. That's why I didn't give it a high score. There was not one hand-to-hand combat scene.
It's robots?
No, get Stanley Tucci out there. Maybe his robot suit breaks down and he's got to fight, in Avatar. The last fight scene. Think of something.
Bro, as a human,
I don't know,
that's why they built the technology
Stanley Tucci and no, I mean him and Chris Pratt just go head to head or something, or him and Millie. That would have been sick.
Oh, that would have been sick.
It just lacked a ton of substance. I don't remember any music being noteworthy either. It looked kind of cool at parts, but obviously that's just the big budget, and there were some cool backdrops and whatnot, but
not really.
Not really.
Kinda. The mall was kind of cool at times and stuff like that.
Right. We gave it half of a score. It's doing half of what it should be doing. With that budget, you should be at least getting good explosions down.
Yeah. The movie looked clean, to be honest. The CGI looked clean. The movie just sucks.
Yeah, it does.
There's no way around it.
Yeah, and our writing score suggests that I guess I'm a little higher than you, which is kind of wild, but
yeah, that's surprising.
Yeah, I talked about that opening scene. I kind of tuned out after that. I was like, what is happening? Why are they joking about a war right now after a math test? What the fuck am I watching? And then she fed her cat 4 chips. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
She was this awesome person who doesn't remember. She's in class. She doesn't want to be on the technology. She's acting so.
Yeah,
that's the other dude. That's the other thing about Millie Bobby. She plays this bullied character, and she just doesn't come off as somebody that's in that role in real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a knack on her personality. I feel like she's probably pretty cool if you hang out with her in real life, but to me she just doesn't come off as a misfit in whatever. And it doesn't help when she's got full makeup on and everything in this dystopian world. I just thought her costume looked so weird.
Yeah, they tried to make her look bad by putting a big ass beanie on her head, and it was just not stylish.
Yeah, Zendaya, great example. She plays Zendaya's beautiful, but she plays some characters that don't have to be beautiful, in Euphoria. She's not trying to look good in Euphoria or Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Zendaya, we all talk about her as a good actress because she has like layers to her.
She's got
you don't
range.
see,
She's got
yeah,
range.
you don't see Zendaya and you're like expecting the same thing every time. I don't know, man.
No, I agree with that.
I think it's all fair criticism. Millie Bobby doesn't give a shit what we say. Obviously, like she's gonna keep doing her thing, and that's fine. But
Oh yeah, get a bag.
she hasn't been in anything good since season 1 of Stranger Things. I'll say it. Maybe Damsel. That movie was okay, I guess.
I've
But-
never seen Enola Holmes, by the way, but I don't want to.
You couldn't even finish the sentence without laughing, and that's probably it's probably all you need to know about that one.
I
And
don't
yeah,
know,
that's
I've heard it's good, so I have no idea.
okay. All right. Until we watch Enola Holmes, Millie Bobby Brown up in the air. Her acting ability is up in the air until we watch that. There's 2 of those actually, so we gotta watch
Yeah.
both. And yeah, this movie sucked. 4.2 out of 10. Yeah, all of our scores can be found on our website, which will be linked in our bio. Go check that out. And we're going to actually have an updated website coming soon where you'll be able to review all of our movies that we've done with our scale. So you'll get to go through characters, entertainment, cinematography, and writing and do it yourself, which is pretty cool. And we'll be back next Tuesday with another one. So until then, peace out.
Deuces.
I dream of the places I've been.